truth about stories. I mean, I thought it was a good way to spread the knowledge of how stories do influence your lives.
It's written in a narrative style by a Native American, and he talks about how stories can change your perspectives and how your culture impacts who you are and how you view the world.
I really liked the book because it showed how to tell your own story and how it really depends on how you tell a story and how it can either be harmful or helpful.
So when I read The Truth About Stories, it really appealed to my character because I like learning about Indians because my family is part Indian. So hearing about his struggles, trying to be the regular Indian and how he told his stories was really interesting to me.
I also really enjoyed The Truth About Stories because I thought it showed a different side of a culture that is such a big part of our history that we don't really hear a lot about, and how the Native people feel and our perception of them. And I think it just gave a good background about how much more there is to everything that we how in every story he talks about one thing and everyone wants to know more and more, and so I think it showed a lot about how there's more background than just what you first see.
I have my own story. I feel like I can relate to the author because I came from a different country. I moved here 5 years ago, so yeah, I feel like I can relate to him, and his stories kind of teach me how to tell my story too.
I'm from Kansas, Salina, Kansas, right in the middle of the state. It's not super small, but it's nothing compared to the capital or anything. I've just grown up there my whole life, plain and simple, regular Kansas life. And as I grew up, I decided to take bigger steps, and now I'm here at DU, and I'm really excited.
I wrote about a time where I was unfamiliar. I got a traumatic brain injury, and I was out of sports for a long time, and I was had to kind of create my new identity because I wasn't allowed to play sports anymore. So that was my time when I was unfamiliar with the situation, but I ended up making my own story and creating something else.
I kind of found myself thinking about my own identity, being Mexican American, and not being a first generation immigrant or nothing like that, but still having those roots with my family and just with myself, how I identify myself.
For my story, I wrote about moving to Colorado because my dad had to drag me kicking and screaming, and now I wouldn't leave for the life of me.
Well, the truth about stories is I also connected with that because I'm half Armenian, which is where my last name comes from. But I don't really know a whole lot about my culture, so I identifying with the culture, but not being completely in it.
I wrote about when I went to Japan, and I was standing in the line at a grocery store, and this lady came up and started talking Japanese to me. And being Japanese, that you obviously think that I would speak Japanese, but I really don't. So that was kind of a weird experience because it's flattering, just kind of blending into a culture in a different country, but then at the same time I feel like I don't really belong there.
Yeah, I'm really excited to meet new friends and go around the campus. Sorry, I know her.